Hello, Enchantess Oracle. And today's cards are, of course, Aboriginal, brought to you by the Aboriginal Dreamtime. Can leave that there. Yeah. Oh, I like that. I think I finally got that light thing sorted out for you, so you can actually see what's going on. See the cards when they come out. Now, these ones I walked past them before, and they just called at me, so I'm like, ooh, okay. Let's see what's going on, shall we? And now nothing's really jumping out. What's the question for this day? Oh, here we go. It's preparation. Preparation. Are you prepared for what's coming? For what you need to do? That's talking about diet, physical strength, especially the lungs and the legs. They seem to be, it's like you've got to build up your strength, your muscles. It's like, don't sit around and let the body lag. It's really important. And look, you got your mother and child energy here. It's about healing. This being the blue with the Aboriginal is the water, of course. And in the Dreamtime message for this, it's sometimes we lose so much and so often. There is no time to stop and grieve. Don't we know that? That's what we're going through at the moment, isn't it? Often we do stop to think about our losses. We can become so overwhelmed with the grief associated with our own sorry business. Our wise ones tell us if we don't deal with our grief, the ghosts of the past will keep following us until we set them free. When we set them free, we will also be setting ourselves free. It's hard work, but it's got to be done. So if you're getting haunted by your past, it is a case of letting it go, asking the wise ones, your angels, your ancestors, your guides, whoever's actually watching over you at the moment. It's like if you see this body, they're putting out all this energy of different places, different people, and these people are still attached. And it's like, and to the heart center and to your soul, it's like your identity of who you are, what makes you who you are. You can let that go. You can still keep the lesson, but you don't have to be attached to them anymore. It's like they're holding you back. They're going to hold you down. It's like you've got so much more to live and give to this world, and it's all changing at the moment, and you don't know what to get rid of, like physically and spiritually at the moment, and emotionally it's bringing up so much stuff and junk and fear and all this emotional stuff you thought that you had dealt with, all these things from the past. It is bringing up those fears so that you can just let them go. You don't have to wallow in them. You don't have to think about them. You don't have to be in them. You can acknowledge them and then you let them go, okay? Because it's your past, okay? It's helped you to get to where you are now, but you can't rely on those type of feelings anymore to get you to the next phase in your life. It's just not going to happen. It'll only hold you back, and it's not the time for that. Now, you might want to know the Aboriginal story for that particular card. A long time ago, our mobs would travel our country in each of our food, in search of food and shelter for each different season. During these times, we would pass each other on our dreaming tracks and gather together to celebrate the birth of the new and the passing of the old. When our people would pass into the next world, we would take time to address our sorry business. There was no time limit to grieve, just an instinctual knowing when it was time to move on. Our wise ones knew that if we ran from our grief, that it would eventually catch up to us. So we were taught to wait and respect our mourning process and to celebrate life when the timing was right. We were taught to be patient during our mourning process, and that if we honoured the time it took to undertake our sorry business, then we would not be chased by spirits along our future journeys. And for those of you who don't know, when Aboriginal talking country, they're talking about their area, their, whether it's a 20k radius or 50k radius, whatever their part of the country is, that's what they call country. That inner knowing, that time to move on, and the wise ones, it's a case of Australia's not had the time to celebrate. It was coming up to Christmas. We had all the fires, so we didn't get to celebrate. Then it was New Year's. We didn't get to celebrate because of the fires. Now it's coming up to Easter. We still can't celebrate because we're all in lockdown, basically. And then, the whole world is, but Australia in particular hasn't had time to celebrate. It's not able to celebrate. And then, of course, you've got Anzac Day, and that's not going to be able to be celebrated in its usual format either. People are going out to, the front of their driveways to celebrate because we can't march, in memory of our returned soldiers and paying respect. So basically, it's like everything's been put on the back burner. And when you think about Australia, she's rebirthing. And when she's finished rebirthing, that's when everyone's going to celebrate. Now, some people are saying July and August this year. I'm not giving a timeline because everything's shifting and changing. And it is time to be happy and excited and plan for that. Do definitely keep planning for all those celebrations and get-togethers and how, who you want to see first and, where you're going to go next and all that sort of stuff. And really focus on the positivity that can come from this. There's so much going online. There's people who are out connecting. Oh, when I say out connecting, I mean they're online connecting with other people. They're making groups, they're making Zoom or Skype or, FaceTime, Facebook, whatever, just join some of the groups and talk to new people. There's lots on Facebooks, lots of games and everything to play. So it's really a time for, if you're lonely and bored, reach out. And I've heard it said too, it's a great time while we're going through this hibernation type of period. It's learn a new skill. Clean out the closets, clean out the cupboards, get rid of the crap that you don't want or don't need. Now, a lot of people, it is a day of actually going to do some numerology for you. Where did I put my pen? Sitting on it, of course. All right. So, yeah. So if you go and learn something new, that'd be really freaking awesome. Now, 2020. I didn't try that, did I? 4th of the 4th, 2020. So what that is all about is about the land. It's about money. It's about material objects, material functioning, machines, sticking to what's known, sticking to the program. Those with money but are too tight to do anything to release it into the community. What have we got? 8 and 4. So we've got 12. Oh, so it's a 3. It really is a powerful day. And then we've got a 7. So it is about the opposite parent as well. I hope you can see that. Now, if I move you back a bit, we'll see what happens. Okay. So your 7, of course, being your opposite parent. Being supported by the opposite parent or absolutely hating the opposite parent. That comes down to also individual spirituality. And on the opposite mean, cruel side of this 7 is the ability to lie straight to your face and live 2 lives. So there's that, but the 7 can also be very gentle. They keep to themselves and they're not a dickhead. It's like, you'll meet a lot of people who might be idiots and dickheads. 7s aren't. And don't even think that they are, because they're not. Okay? They'll get a lot of judgments, but they're not idiots. And they'll tell you straight. If something needs to be said, get a 7 to do it, all right? Because they're really brilliant at that. With the 4, over here, with all these 4s going on, you've got these 3 4s, and there are 3 4s down here. And that is about the stability. And it's a case of your own emotional stability. Now, 4s are usually the physical stability, you know, your job, where you live, your income, the land, your possessions, the money in the bank, the stock market, all that sort of stuff. That's what your fours are. And at the moment, everything's changing. The fourth, if you got a lotto ticket, go for it, because darlings, it looks like absolutely fabulous. Like you've got 22, 4, 43, 47 if it goes up to that high. I really don't know. 3, 12, your 8, your 4, your 20, or your 22. So, you know, that's how you choose your numbers. By what jumps out at you, the 4 and the 44. The 44, definitely. The 22, perhaps, for you. It's like that's how you choose. It's not just looking at them and going each and every single one. It's a case of when you see it will jump out at you. That's what the numbers do for me. Sorry. Yeah. They just jump and just tell you, you know, here I am. And the numbers do speak differently to me. There's a lot of people who have asked me to teach them how to do the numbers. And it's stuff that I just can't put into a book. It's like I've tried. Maybe I could. Maybe I've find it easier when I've actually got the person in front of me who actually wants to learn and talk about the numbers, because then I can do them a reading and tell them exactly what the numbers mean to me. Because to me, I see this as alien ships as well. And I don't know exactly where they're coming from or where they're going to, but they're hanging around. So I don't know if that's written in any numerology books or not. The 3 is going to have the impact of light. It's going to be a lighter mood. It's not going to be so heavy. And it's like what I'm seeing too, don't forget there is like these are the emotions, being afraid, the anxiety, there's fears. Don't forget there's also a lot of sexual abuse going on at the moment. A lot of that is coming into the light. A lot of child abuse, that's coming into the light. It will be dealt with. There's certain people who will end up in jail for it. Domestic violence is on the negative side, and suicides, of course. So it's like after we get through this, you know, stay strong. Just keep staying strong. Take each day. Reach out to people. Don't get caught up in that not being that vulnerable of not being able to reach out and ask for help. It is changing. If you need the help, ask for it. People are being generous at the moment. So it's like the banks are being generous. People are being generous with money. Those who really have it, like the institutions that have it, you know, they'll be more generous than usual. But you've got to ask for the help. You've got to actually step up, step out and ask. So you've got to feel secure enough, be vulnerable enough to ask. Well, I hope that helps you. Love you all, darlings. Okay, Enchantess Oracle. And if you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe and like. Thank you. Ciao. If not, Facebook and Instagram. Okay, ciao.